What's up guys, it's Taylor and I am back with another video. Today I am recapping episode 8 of the challenge Total Madness on MTV. It was a pretty jam-packed episode, probably one of my favorites this season so far. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So basically the episode starts off with everybody coming back from elimination. If you remember last week at the girls' elimination, Jenna actually eliminated Tori. It was, you know, basically, as they say, a photo finish. It was neck and neck, you know, for most of the time. And Jenna, you know, she just got there faster and she took Tori out. So basically, when everybody is coming back from the elimination, we see Jordan, and he's basically saying that he doesn't really have to watch himself anymore, you know, because basically before, when Tori was there, you know, he had to watch what he, you know, said and did, because what he did could come back on Tori, and, you know, obviously the fallout would be on both of them, or mostly her and not just him. So now that she's gone, she's out of the picture, he can basically do what he needs to do to win, you know, and he doesn't have to worry about watching his mouth and watching what he does, because all his actions, all those repercussions will come back on him and not Tori. So we see him talking about that. Banana says that Jordan is basically the only one in his way of actually winning this season. He hasn't won in a long time. You know, he says Jordan is, you know, pretty much good at everything. Jordan is a 3-time champion, so he's not wrong. And Jordan's pretty much the only one standing in his way of winning this season. We also see Wes Andy talking about the same thing, basically saying that nobody is scared of Jordan or fears Jordan anymore. He's on his own. He doesn't really have an alliance or anything like that. So, you know, if they're gonna strike, this is probably the time to go for it. We also see Kayla and Bear, you know, they're kind of flirting again. I've spoken on this situation before, so I'm not gonna say anything more about it, but yeah, Kayla and Bear, they're flirting still. You know, they're basically together in the house at this point. So that's that. We also see, you know, Nelson working out in this scene, you know, and we also see Kayla, you know, she's walking by and she basically says that, you know, she wants to say Nelson's name. She doesn't have any reason not to say Nelson's name. You know, we all saw what happened last week. He disrespected her. He said some things that were below the belt. And honestly, she has every right to want to say Nelson's name. You know, she doesn't have any reason to hold back. And, you know, I kind of agree with her on that. And this week is a guy's day. So this week's challenge is called Decontamination. Now, this is actually a really interesting challenge because it wasn't anything too physical, but, you know, it was still kind of, you know, rigorous and everything like that. So basically everybody plays individually, and what they have to do, they have to go into like this big little area. I don't want to say room, but it's basically an area full of foam, and they have to race straight to the back. And then at the back behind a window, there is going to be a sequence of flashing lights. So once they get the sequence of, they look at the sequence of flashing lights, once they think that they have the sequence of flashing lights down, they're gonna race back, and when they get out of the little area of foam and everything like that, they have these colored discs that they have to put in the order of the sequence of lights that they saw when they were in there in the foam. Whoever, and this is also a timed event, whoever gets the sequence correct and is the fastest for a guy and a girl, they will win. So whoever is the fastest guy and whoever is the fastest girl are the two people to win this week's challenge, and they'll pick a third person to also be in the tribunal with them. TJ also reveals that this week is a double elimination. So it's a guy's elimination and it's a double elimination. So 2 guys will be going home, but 2 guys will also be getting a red skull, which means that they can run the final. So basically, the game is played in 3 rounds. And round 1, we have Maddie, Corey, Josh, Swaggy, Wes, Casey, and Jenny. They are the round 1 competitors. So basically, TJ blows the horn and they all get started. They all basically race in there. They you know, race to the back, get to the window, they're wiping the window, trying to see the sequence and everything like that. Maddie, Corey, and Swaggy decide that they're gonna work together. They decide that 3 brains are better than 1. It's not a bad thing, you know. So they decide that they're gonna work together, and, you know, they're gonna group the colors and everything like that, and they're gonna help each other out. So they're working together. Wes is a lone wolf in this, and he's working by himself, but he's honestly really killing it. He's really killing it, you know, and in a timely manner as well. And he wins round 1 for the guys. For the girls, Maddie wins round 1. Next, we have round 2. We have D, Rogan, Bailey, Jenna, Fessy, Melissa, and Nelson. So basically, same as round 1. TJ blows the horn, they race through and everything like that. They all go to the back and they go to the window, they're looking at the sequence and everything like that. Pretty much everybody is coming out except Nelson. Nelson is in there for, you know, a pretty long time, and everybody's starting to notice. They think maybe, you know, he got lost or whatever the case may be. But it turns out Nelson's strategy is he's gonna wait for everybody else to, you know, get their disc in order and everything like that, and then he's gonna come back out and copy them. I don't know why he thinks that's a good strategy. I mean, it could work, you know, if somebody does really good, but he decides that's his strategy, so he goes with that. He finally comes out, and so basically once Nelson comes out, everybody's still working on the thing and everything like that. But Fessy ends up winning for the guys in round 2, and D ends up winning for the girls. Next, we have round 3. The people competing in round 3 are Nani, Anissa, Kayla, Bear, Big T, Bananas, and Kyle, I believe. So they're the last round, and basically Nani, Anissa, and Kayla decide that they're all gonna work together and try to help Bear out, because as I said before, Kayla and Bear, you know, they're basically at this point, they're a couple in the house, I guess. They're together, they're hooking up and everything like that, and it is a guy's day. And Bear makes it clear that he doesn't want to go in just yet. He wants to stay in the house for Kayla. You know, he's not ready to get his red school, or he's not ready to go home, you know, whatever. And so the 3 girls are working together to help out Bear and make sure that he doesn't go into elimination. They want him to win. They want him to get into the tribunal. That way he can save himself. So basically, they all race in there. They race into the foam. They go to the back. They got their sequence. Everybody's going. In the middle of, you know, everybody coming out and they're putting their disc together and everything like that, Bananas has a very interesting strategy. So, you know, basically we see him just standing there. He's not going in. He's not trying to go back and see the colors and everything like that. And everybody's wondering what Bananas is doing, what's going on. Turns out that Banana figured out that the colors, the lights, they're flashing, and he can see, I guess they're reflecting off the back wall or something like that. So he doesn't even need to go into the foam. You know, he's looking at the back wall, he's fixing up his disc, and he wins. And you know what? That's gotta be a really smart strategy. Work smarter, not harder, you know. So that's a really good strategy. Bananas wins for the guys, and Big T wins for the girls. Really happy with Big T. I haven't been, you know, quiet about it. Big T is probably one of my favorite UK people to come on the show recently. She's very entertaining. You know, I know she's basically what they call a layup and everything like that, but every time she's on the screen, she delivers. She's funny, and I'm happy to have her on this season. She's one of the funniest people ever. So I love Big T, and I'm happy she won this week. So once again, Bananas won for the guys, Big T won for the girls, and that basically concludes this week's challenge. So after all that is over, TJ, he's in front of everybody, and he announces that it was pretty close between Bananas and Wes, but Wes takes it overall for the guys, and Maddie takes it overall for the girls. So the 2 of them are the first 2 people in the tribunal, and they decide to pick Bananas as the 3rd person to be in the tribunal this week. Now this is really crazy, and one thing I'm trying to figure out is how at this point, how does everybody in the house not know that Wes and Bananas are working together? I mean, they haven't tried. I mean, just look at last season. The first couple of weeks of War of the Worlds 2, they were gunning for each other super duper hard. Of course, there were different players last season, you know, arguably egging them on and everything like that, but they were gunning for each other. They have gunned for each other for years. They've been enemies on this show for years. So I just don't understand how people who are actually in the house, and some people who have done challenges with them for years, aren't catching on to the fact like, hey, Bananas and Wes aren't really concerned with each other this season. I wonder what's going on. Literally, like, I don't understand how people don't know. But anyways, Bananas and Wes, they're pulling this thing off some way, somehow, and they pick Bananas to be the 3rd part of the tribunal. Also, with them picking Bananas and everything like that, and the tribunal being formed, TJ also announces that the house, whenever they go back and do nominations, they have to pick 2 guys to go into elimination since it is a double elimination, and the tribunal has to interrogate 4 guys instead of 3 to see who's going to go against those guys who got picked to go into elimination. Next, everybody's coming back from the challenge and everything like that, and Nelson tells Anissa, Kayla, Nani, and Jenna, you know, the girls and everything like that, that he needs to talk to them. And basically he tells them that, you know, he knows that he's been messing up, you know, he's been popping off and everything like that, especially last week with everything that happened with Kayla. So he tells them that he knows that they want to say his name at House Noms. He asks them not to vote with emotion. You know, he says that he feels like, you know, he's a pretty good competitor and everything like that. He asks them not to vote with emotion and not say his name at House nominations. And I mean, it's pretty much a joke, you know. Kayla says, you know, to him that it's not a lot of guys to choose from. But aside from it not being a lot of people to choose from, he literally berated her last week. Like, literally, he tore her down in front of the entire house, saying things that you shouldn't talk to anybody like that. So I just think it's kind of comical that he's begging for them not to vote him in. But that was that. So next we have House nominations. Right off the back at House nominations, Fessy makes it very clear that if you guys say my name, that's fine. You can say it for your game or whatever. But chances are I'm coming back, and when I come back, I'm coming for everyone who said my name. And I just know, I know that put the fear of God in some people on those couches. I know it absolutely did. You know, Fessy, I've seen a lot of people, especially on Twitter and stuff like that, I've seen a lot of people saying, Fessy, he's just a rookie. I don't know why everybody's scared of him and everything like that. True, Fessy is a rookie, you know, and he hasn't like won a challenge or anything yet, obviously, because it's his first challenge. But the guy is huge and he's super strong. I'm not saying everybody should be scared of him, but it makes a lot of sense as to why people don't want to go against him. You know, he's a really big guy. The only other guy who really is Fessy's size with his strength, because I mean, you got tall people, but Fessy is tall and big. I mean, he used to play D1 football. He was going to go to the NFL until he got injured. I mean, the guy's huge. So the only other people who compare to him are like CT, and he's taller than CT, and Zach, who may be a little bit bigger muscle-wise. I don't know about height. But yeah, the guy is completely huge, you know, and, you know, he's performed well in daily challenges. So, you know, I think people have a right to be scared of him. But anyway, off track. Fessy makes it clear, you say my name, I'm coming for you. Evidently, that didn't matter because people go around and vote, and Fessy is the first nominee, and he's going in. Second go round, they do a second vote to get the second person who's going in. And I mean, everybody basically is outing Nelson. So it comes up that Nelson has basically made a pact with almost everyone in the house that if you don't say my name, I won't say your name. Nelson has done enough of these shows to know you can't do that, okay? I don't know why he thought that he could do that, but he did it. And basically, he's getting caught up in all his lies and everything like that. And he is the second nominee. He's going into purgatory because his social game just isn't that good. He's a good competitor. He even does good in eliminations, but his social game is not that great. And that's something that he needs to work on coming into future challenges. But anyways, Nelson is the second nominee. Next up, once again, everybody's going out for the night. They're at the club. They're hanging out. They're having fun and everything like that. We see Nelson and Melissa talking and everything like that. And Nelson's basically, you know, just kind of beating up on Kyle and everything like that to Melissa. And, you know, telling her that he threw him under the bus and everything like that. And I don't understand, Nelson, because this is your own doing. You did this to yourself, you know. And basically him and Kyle kind of come face to face. They're going back and forth. Nelson calls him out of his name, and they're basically, you know, they start pushing each other and everything like that. Once again, I have to say this every week. I think this is the 3rd week in a row on these recap videos that I have said that Nelson causes unnecessary drama. Like, he was already in bad with the house for what he did last week to Kayla. And now you're getting into it with Kyle because he exposed you for being a bad social player. Lay low. Do you not know what lay low means? Like, seriously, what is wrong with you? But honestly, him and Cal, they have that little spat. Melissa's yelling at him. Everybody, it's ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous. But I hope Nelson really realizes that he brings a lot of this stuff on himself. I mean, he really does. He brings a lot of this stuff on himself. But anyways, that was that. After everybody comes back from the house, you know, Big T, she's drunk, you know, she's kind of, you know, I don't know, I guess she's goofing around and everything like that, you know, and we see her, I guess she kind of cuts her foot on a chair or something like that because she starts bleeding really bad and everything like that. And there's this whole thing. The guys, you know, they kind of lift her up and everything like that. They wrap some stuff around her toe, which is the thing that's bleeding and everything like that. And basically she has to go to the hospital because apparently this cut is so bad. A Band-Aid isn't going to fix it. So Big T goes to the hospital and, you know, she gets some stitches and everything like that. Next, we have the Tribunal, which once again is Maddie, Wes, and Bananas. So basically they say that the guys that they're going to go for are Corey, Kyle, Bear, and Jordan. Those are the 4 guys that they're interrogating. Basically, Bear says he's here for Kayla. That's his whole argument. That's why he doesn't want to go in. So he's here for Kayla. Wes kind of goes in on Kyle because, you know, I don't know if he's just playing with Kyle or not, but he basically says that he's useless, he doesn't do anything. I mean, Wes is kind of right, you know. Kyle, I mean, he's an okay competitor, I guess, but he doesn't really do anything, so I kind of get where Wes is coming from. Like I said, I don't know if he was joking or not, but I mean, either way, he was kind of right. Jordan says that, you know, he might as well go in. I don't think Jordan really wants to be there now that Tori's gone, and if he is going to be there, he might as well win. That's his mentality, so he tells them that. When Corey's in there, basically, Bananas and Corey have never had a great history, but, you know, Corey says that, look, you know, going forward, I know it's all about trust. If you don't have a problem with me, I won't have a problem with you. I'm just trying to make it through this game, basically. So, that's the Tribunal. Next, going straight into Purgatory. The guys come down and everything like that. TJ asks the Tribunal what they're gonna do. Wes and Bananas, they aren't going in. They don't want to face Fessy or Nelson or anything like that. And the 2 guys that they pick are Bear and Jordan. Jordan is going against Fessy. Bear is going against Nelson. First up, Fessy and Jordan. And the game is pole wrestle, which is a fan favorite. They've been doing this on the show for years. And yeah. So basically, Fessy and Jordan, they get going. Now, everybody knows that Jordan has one hand. He never brings it up. He doesn't let that affect his game or anything like that. But in a game like pole wrestle, it's kind of puts him at a disadvantage. So basically, him and Fessy, you know, they figure out what formula they're going to use. So I guess it'll be fair to Jordan and everything like that. They get going, and right away, you can see that Fessy is kind of manhandling Jordan. Fessy's huge. He's strong. Jordan's strong too, but Fessy, you know, it's clear that Jordan is outmatched. It's a battle. It's a battle. But basically, first round, Fessy wins, but they flip over, and he lands on Jordan's shoulder, and obviously it affects Jordan really, really badly, because when it's time for them to go again, you know, Jordan, obviously he's having a hard time. You know, they're asking him, is he okay to go? He says yes, but obviously he's not okay. They go again, and you know, Fessy just snatches it right out of Jordan's hand. Jordan was already hurt, but that's a clear win for Fessy. Jordan, you know, he basically goes, sees the medic and everything like that. I don't know if his shoulder was dislocated or not, but yeah, that was a tough loss for Jordan. I wonder if, you know, his head was really in it, you know, because of everything that happened with Tori, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Jordan got sent home. Next, we have Nelson and Bear. Now, I just want to say that Nelson is really good at eliminations. He's come back, I think somebody said, from like 10 eliminations. I wouldn't call him a elimination beast or anything like that, but he's also not somebody that I personally would want to go against in eliminations, knowing his record. So him and Bear get going. Nelson basically takes a really good strategy. You know, he goes to the ground. He has leverage on Bear. Bear standing up, he's down, so obviously he has, you know, better grip and everything like that. And Nelson wins round 1. Round 2 is basically the same thing. Bear, you know, he kind of plays dirty round 2, but he's just doing what he has to do to win. But, you know, he's no match for Nelson. Nelson snatches it, and Nelson wins. Bear's going home. Also, another thing I just want to speculate about. I don't even know if Bear's... I don't know. I don't want to say Bear's weak, you know, because he's won eliminations before. But I just don't. He really didn't give Nelson any fight at all. But that's that. So basically, Fessy and Nelson, they now have their red skulls and they're qualified to run the final. That's basically it for this week. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe. You know, I do want to say real quick, I think I have like 20 something subscribers, 25, maybe over 25. I just want to say thank you. I know you're like, why are you thanking people from 25 subscribers? But no feat is small to me. So thank you. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back next week with another recap. Till next time, peace out.